Welcome to House Talk on KAFM 88.1 Community Affairs. This is a monthly program that features local experts to discuss real estate topics of interest to home buyers and sellers in Mesa County. I'm your host. I'm Kate Porras. I'm a realtor at RE/MAX 4000. So I brought some experts in today to talk about some options for buyers. We have Al Formicola and Dana Dziagwa. Al is a senior mortgage loan officer with Guild. Dana is with Castle Creek Mortgage. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So give us a brief update. Tell us about yourselves real quick.
Well, my wife and I moved out here with our daughter 15 years ago and started working in the banking and got back into mortgages 3 years ago with Guild and been working under Portia Vigil and been doing that up to today.
Great. And Dana?
Hi there. I moved here 4 years ago from the Front Range, so I say I'm on the right side now.
That's right.
And I have been doing mortgage loans for over 20 years.
So when we talk about challenges for buyers, not a lot of homes for them to choose from. They hear these, stories in the news, especially about interest rates and whatnot. Some of them might think, gosh, I can't even afford to buy a house. But I think what it's important for people to know is there are a lot of options out there for buyers. Is that correct?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
So unless you're paying cash, you need a mortgage. Talk to me about some of the programs that are available.
Well, I know that you had asked about first-time homebuyers.
Sure, let's talk about first-time homebuyers.
Actually, there's a lot of loan options. So there's conventional, FHA, and if anybody is in military or out of the military, we have VA loans. And then there's some specialty loans that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, give me some examples of some specialty loans out there.
Well, you have CHAFA, which is Colorado Housing, where you could get financed up to 100%. Like Dana said, with 100% financing, and the interest rates as of this morning were like 7.25, and you could get pre-qual at any loan officer's office and see what you qualify for, and then we can hook them up with Kate to go get the house.
So if we're talking about people, maybe they have low credit or no credit. I've had clients who, for example, I had a woman who was married for years. Husband passed away, but everything had always been under his name, so she actually didn't even have any credit. Very qualified, though. People that have situations where they have low credit or no credit, what options do they have?
Well, I see that a lot with people who are actually graduating college here recently,
That's another good one.
That just blew me away because they're afraid of credit. So don't be afraid of credit, number one.
Yes.
So what you can do is what I tell people is to go out and get started with credit. So you either need to go to a bank and get a credit card through your local bank. It can be a secured credit card, meaning that you put money into the account and then you can use it if you have absolutely no credit. Loans do allow for what we call alternative credit. So if somebody has something in their name, we need 3 trade lines. So let's say, for example, you have a car. Hopefully you have car insurance and it's in your name. If you have a cable bill, anything in your name, a lot of people don't. Maybe we could use a cell phone. If this, for example, this woman, maybe she had to go get insurance in her name for the house. Anything like that we can use. We just need a 1-year history for that. So use alternative credit.
So look at those bills that you're paying every month. It might be something that could help you.
Yes. So we ask people, what's in your name? And I'm always blown away when people tell me nothing. And I'm like, okay, then you're basically not around at the United States. Everybody wants you to live on credit.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could also use Netflix or Disney, Hulu, if you've been paying there for 12 years too.
So I would never even thought of that.
12 months.
12 months. Yeah, not 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
That'd be a long time. Yeah.
What about, down payment options? Sometimes, people might have a good job. They're making a good income. They just haven't had a chance to save up for a good down payment. What options do buyers have for that?
Well, you could go with 100% financing under the CHAFA. You need to come in with $1,000 of your own money. And that's it. You could go with seller concessions. You could also buy the rate down if there's enough room in there to do that.
Negotiate that.
And so you could come into the house with $1,000 or $2,000 out of your pocket. You would like to save money, but if you can't and a good deal comes up, you can do it.
Yeah, and some other things to think about is I just read an article yesterday, and I was really shocked. A lot of first-time buyers, they said about 30% of them last year used gift money from family. So if you think about parents, grandparents, a lot of people are getting inheritance. and they're passing it on down to their children now instead of waiting for later.
Like a living inheritance. I know that's becoming really popular.
It is. And so there's gifts, grants, down payment assistance programs, and then we have loans that, like I was saying, the USDA, VA, there's no money down. And some of the lenders are actually offering their own down payment assistance programs. So just call us. We can verify if you qualify, and then we can help you and do some research.
You're listening to House Talk on KAFM Grand Junction. In the studio today, Al Formicola and Dana Dziagwa. They're both loan officers here in Mesa County. So I have another client and started a new job. You know, it's a good job, making good money, but sometimes when you start a new job, that can cause some issues when you're trying to qualify for a loan. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, if you just start a new job, your job history, they need 2 years. So if they were in school, for say school for broadcasting, they start working at the radio. If you're in school for a year and a half and you just start working a job for 6 months, that constitutes 2 years in the same line of work.
Okay.
So that would work for the loan.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
So the key is the same line of work?
Yes.
Yes. And we need at least 1 month of a pay stub on the new job. So don't just start the job and think that you're going to go out and buy a house.
Put a little bit of time. At least get a month under your belt.
Get a month pay stub.
I did learn something that if you get an offer letter and your salary, not hourly,
yes,
that the offer letter qualifies as the income before the pay stub.
So if you have someone saying, yeah, absolutely, we're going to pay this person this much this year, then that could help out too.
Yes.
Yeah, but the underwriters are going to want to see the pay stub.
Actually closed it.
Really? Nice. All right. Well,
and it doesn't hurt to have that paperwork handy, though, just to keep all of that just in case.
Oh, no, Dana's right. You would like to get a pay stub. We just got lucky.
Yeah. You had mentioned, I know, special programs, VA loans. So there are special programs out there for veterans, law enforcement, doctors even.
Yes.
Talk about some of those.
Yeah. So what those programs do is they understand that when you're a physician, you come out of college with a lot of debt. And so what these lenders offer is a way to offset some of the normal criteria for the loans, meaning higher debt ratio, probably a lesser down payment. And so they're trying to help them because we do have debt ratio limits on loans on the guidelines, but they let those go much higher on those type of loans.
Explain debt ratio. People might not be familiar with that term.
So the debt ratio is when we look at how much your income is, your gross monthly income, versus how much your payments are going out each month. And that includes all of your debts that we would count that would come over on a credit report. So car loans, student loans, credit cards, things like that. House.
Anything.
Rent,
your bills.
Your
what are your bills every month?
Yeah, but not your everyday living.
Sure.
We don't look at everyday living bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had talked about, going back to no or low credit scores.
Mm-hmm.
What is considered a low credit score? What should people be shooting for as far as a credit score goes?
I would say for the grants and for all the programs they help, 620 would be the lowest you want to be. And if anybody doesn't know their credit score, we offer, both of us offer a soft credit pull, which is that we could pull your credit without dinging your credit and do an application to see if you're ready now or how long it would be for you to be ready to get a loan if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah, number of people sometimes get worried when you say, I'm going to pull your credit.
Yes.
But a soft pull is different.
It does not ding your score or put a hard hit. And then if you need a rescore, both of us offer to correct your credit and raise your score. And we give you all the tools to do that. And then you can make a plan of when you want to purchase a house.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And I know you would work. I have, lenders are great at working with buyers to figure out, okay, this is your credit score, not quite where we want it to be.
Yep.
Let's give you some tips, some ideas of things that you can do to help bring it up a little bit as well.
Right.
Yes. And the lowest the credit score for most loan options is about 580. But remember, that does impact the rate you're going to get. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
The higher your credit score, the better. But Fannie and Freddie, which is our conventional loan products, they did remove all of their loan level price adjustments, which helps the rates for first-time home buyers, if you're considered a first-time home buyer, which is you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years.
Okay. I think the bottom line of this story is really there are a lot of options out there for buyers. I know you keep hearing things in the news that make it sound like, oh, I'll never be able to afford anything, but really sit down with a qualified local lender.
Yep.
Give them your whole story so they can see the big picture and have them work with you to figure out a plan.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, if people have more questions, because I'm sure they do, how can they get a hold of you?
My cell phone is 303-921-1238.
And Al?
My cell phone is 585-747-0987.
I want to thank both of you for being here. A lot of great information. I know we just barely touched the surface of everything that's there, but it's a great option for you guys, for people to ask some questions and really think about it. Home ownership is a great thing. It's a great investment, great for your future. And so I really encourage people to go out there and ask those questions and see. You might be surprised at what you actually do qualify for.
It's true.
Well,
Thank you.
This segment airs on the second Wednesday of each month. You can also listen to podcasts on demand at KAFMCommunityRadio.org. Make sure to join us next month for another edition of House Talk. And if you have a topic that you would like for us to cover, feel free to contact me. You can reach out via my website, kateporras.com.